Hello, everyone. It's Pastor Joe Drew, and it's that time again. It's Wednesday night, which means we're going to be going over the assignment for week 4, but not just the assignment. I'm going to hit the discussion as well. All of this to make sure that you get all the points coming to you for week 4. We are finally out of the Old Testament. We're going to be spending chapters 4 and 5 in the New Testament. So the discussion on week 4. It says here on the original post, it says, within the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus taught many lessons on how we should live. Matthew chapter 5 through 7. That's how it starts out. If you're not familiar with the Sermon on the Mount, it's just a famous sermon that Jesus gave. And as I just referenced, it's in the book of Matthew. That's the first book of the New Testament. And it covers chapters 5 through 7. And so we're going to be focusing on that for the week 4 discussion. It says in Matthew chapter 5, verses 21 through 7, verse 29, Jesus makes several contrasting statements regarding the perceived Old Testament teachings and the New Testament teachings that he is bringing to us. Specifically, he's referencing the 10 Commandments. And you'll see that in Matthew chapter 5 through 7. Select at least 2 of these teachings and discuss how the New Testament teaching should apply to us in the 21st century. Okay, so I'm not looking at why you like the verse or what you agree with in the verse. I'm looking specifically how should we apply it in the 21st century. And so, as always in your discussions, do your 3 responses and 2 reflections. Do it on 3 separate calendar days. Use references in all your posts, and you're going to get the maximum amount of points. So let me move on to the assignment, because as we're in the New Testament and we just talked about the Sermon on the Mount, week 4 assignment is so different than anything you've done in the previous weeks, because this is going to be a PowerPoint. And it's going to be a PowerPoint specifically on the life of Jesus. So it says here on the assignment, create a 15 to 20 slide PowerPoint presentation. It's important to note this. It says title slide and reference slide do not count towards the total slide count, okay? So you need a minimum of 17 slides altogether, with at least 15 of them being content, okay? And it goes over, it lists out 13 different topics to have on your PowerPoint slide. So everything from the miraculous birth of Jesus, baptism of Jesus, the temptation of Jesus, the calling of the 12 disciples, the parables of Jesus, the miracles of Jesus. Now note that on the parables and the miracles, because there's only 13 topics here, and you need at least 15 to 20 slides, you can double up on some of these. For example, the parables of Jesus, because he did more than, he talked about more than one parable. He talked about, or he performed more than one miracle. So you could double up on those. Healing miracles, you could do a couple miracles there if you wanted to. Deliverance miracles, other miracles, Jesus's final days, the triumphal entry into Jerusalem, the Last Supper, before the Sanhedrin, Pilate and Herod, the crucifixion of Jesus, and the resurrection of Jesus. Okay, so that's all your content. That's 13 different topics. Once again, you can double up on a couple of those to meet the criteria of having at least 15 slides dedicated to content. So here's some things on the PowerPoint, because every course I teach, when we get to week 4 assignment on this PowerPoint, I get it. PowerPoint may not be something that you're as familiar with, and that's why I'm going over this video. So a couple things, I'm going over to the rubric here, a couple things you want to keep in mind. First of all, on the references, you have to have on the PowerPoint presentation, you do have to have citations and references, okay? And I'll tell you where to put that here in just a moment. But you need to have 5 or more citations from the textbook or an additional academic resource, just like before, and 5 or more citations from Scripture. So you should have at least 10 citations in this PowerPoint presentation, okay? So I'll be looking for that. Always remember, if you provide a reference, it has to be cited in the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so what do we do with the PowerPoint? On the PowerPoint, it's looking for this. Slides contain good use of color, graphics, and readable font that support the theme content of the presentation. The layout enhances the presentation by enhancing the clarity of the information presented. And you'll see down here at the bottom, animation or audio is used. So I'm looking for color. I'm looking for your PowerPoint slides to be creative. I want the picture. So for example, the miraculous birth of Jesus, okay? On that slide, you can have a nice big picture of the birth of Jesus. You might even have a scripture on there. I wouldn't load it up with a bunch of scripture on the slide itself. You might want to put one scripture on the slide. So I'm looking for color, the graphics, maybe one scripture, but obviously you could put at the top miraculous birth of Jesus or the birth of Jesus. Either way, just put a title on that slide to let me know which one it is. And then there's a thing on your PowerPoint. Right underneath the slide is a place for speaker notes. Okay, that's real important. I don't want all your notes and all your content on your actual slide. I want it in the place under the slide where it says speaker notes. Okay, now for that, it says here on your rubric, speaker notes contain at least 7 sentences that include details which greatly enhance the information being presented on each slide. So I want you to write a little paragraph underneath each slide as though that's what you were going to say to present this, okay? You're not going to have to present it. You're not going to have to talk. You just have to submit a PowerPoint presentation, but in your speaker notes, that's what you would say. In that paragraph, that's where you put your citations, okay? You put your citations there. You don't have to do your references right there. You do your references at the very end on a PowerPoint slide for your reference page, okay? So you gotta have a PowerPoint slide for your title page, a PowerPoint slide for your reference page, and then 15 to 20 slides for your content, speaker notes on the 15 to 20 slides of content with citations in them, at least 7 sentences. I count that stuff. I'm gonna be looking for that. I count it because our rubric holds us to that, okay? So that's how I grade. And if you want full credit for your work, that's how you do it. 10 citations, 7 sentences, title page, reference page, make it burst, make it colorful. If you just do a pretty bland PowerPoint presentation, points get knocked off, okay? There is a way you can do it really quick. You can not provide any pictures, any graphics. You can just put all your stuff not on your speaker notes. If you put it on your slides, it's gonna dock you in points big time. And I want you to get the most points for your time and your effort. So please, there's a great way to make this an assignment that boosts your grade and gets you full credit for your work here. So that's the week 4 assignment. That's the week 4 discussion. If you have any more questions, give me a call, text me, email me, let me know. And until then, I'll be waiting to grade your week 4 assignments. We'll see you and God bless.